My now ex-fiancée 30F and I, M27, became engaged 3 weeks ago. We've been dating for 5 years and I finally saved enough money to give her the wedding she wanted. So 3 days ago we were discussing our guest list, and I asked if she wanted to bring her best buddy, James, M30. James lives in another state, but because they've been friends for 10 years, I figured I could even pay for his travel fees because having her closest buddy at the wedding would be fantastic. She declined, stating that bringing him would be a lot of effort and that she wanted it to be a family occasion. She had often stated that James was like family to her, so I pushed. She became upset and stated, "I didn't even tell him we were engaged. That took me by surprise." I attempted to inquire why, but she began stonewalling me, so I left her alone. After a few hours, I tried again to ask her why she hadn't informed him that we were engaged. She still refused to tell me, and I admit that my insecurity got the best of me. James had previously stated to her that he had affections for her, which she rejected and essentially friended him. But from the way she told me, it always seemed like she had him as a backup, which not just I but her exes noticed. She married him online, and they always made their WoW characters appear like a couple, like wearing the same transmog and such. When she had a quarrel with her ex, he was always there for her, and so on. I told her it made me uncomfortable, and if she wasn't going to tell him, she should consider herself single, since I wouldn't marry someone who couldn't be honest. Yes, I was immature. But she did something much more juvenile. She texted him while showing me her phone, saying something like, "Hey, just so you know, I was engaged but not anymore," and sent it. I urged her to collect her belongings and leave my home. Since she departed, she has been phoning me, but I have refused to respond. My mother phoned me because she had obviously called my mother. He called me an asshole for terminating things over something so silly. So AITA? Edit. Sorry for the error in the title update too. Hey folks, I cooked some food and I believe I'll go with you/done/69 position. By the way, cool username. I'm going to invite her to meet up and ask for their messages. And Foxy sneaky old stoddy fox, I'm already in low communication with my mother, but I'll make my decision when I clear everything out. So I'm kind of promised an update. Update. Hey everyone, I just came home from chatting to my still ex-fiancée, and since many of you requested for an update, here it is. But I'd want to explain a few points. As mentioned in my initial article, I paid for the house because I purchased it before dating her, and I invited her to move in because it was close to her job. I work from home because I am in technology, but she needed to drive to work, so I paid for her car to assist her travel, and her pay is awful. I was her partner, therefore I saw no problem with that. I believed she was the one. She is brilliant, witty, and we had connection, but I felt cheated. To the update. We met in a coffee shop to discuss how to save our relationship, or so she believed. As soon as we sat down, I asked for their messages. She quickly became defensive, telling me she had deleted everything. I requested to see her phone anyhow. She started crying, an ugly wail, and asked me to stop. At that time, I'd already decided I wasn't going to continue the connection, but gosh, I was interested. It took her about 20 minutes to bring me her phone, with a lot of sobbing and a waiter asking if she was okay. Then I read the texts. There was no infidelity, such as exchanging nudes or expressing their love for one another, but what I read stung. There was a lot of negative discussion about me. A lot. They sent me texts telling me what a bad person I was and disparaging my interests, which include video games and professional wrestling. They told me I wasn't a true guy because of them, and so on. But there were 2 issues that piqued my interest. She had informed him I was having difficulties getting hard, which was irritating for her, and one where she was talking about how she didn't want to be stuck in our relationship. Yes, I was experiencing issues in bed. Because I was depressed because my father had died 6 months before and I was stranded. I recall promising her that when we married, she could leave her work and I would provide for both of us. I'm not sure whether she misinterpreted this, but it was probably connected to it. I honestly do not know. By the time I returned the phone, she was already making reasons for why she was saying those things to him. How he was like a therapist to her. Then she asked me, "Don't you tell your friends about me?" And I just said, "No, I don't." She began weeping again. I took a big breath and said, "Just give me the ring back. I didn't have the ring with me," as several advised. She hesitated a little, but gave it to me anyhow. I stood up and begged her to erase my number and stop bothering me. I phoned her mother and asked her to pick up her daughter's belongings at my home. Her mother is a nice person. As I type this, I realize how much I will miss her. She understood why I wanted to stop it, but she didn't ask too many questions, which I'm pleased she didn't. As for my mother, I did not call her. Instead, I blocked her for reasons unconnected to this piece. I suddenly realized she never supported me in anything. I was always attempting to rescue an already failing mother-son bond. Before I depart, I'd want to clarify. I was never opposed to her having male friends or any kind of friends. People will cheat, whether they have pals or not. I recall my father telling me as a teenager that opportunity makes the thief, but I disagree. Anyway, since I have the next 2 weeks free from work, I'm going to figure out what to do with the wedding money. Drink some beer, play some games, and watch Monday Night Raw later. Peace. P.S. I apologize for any errors in the title. I have rectified it now. A number of individuals have asked about the automobile. Is a 2015 Nissan Versa in which she has crashed twice, both times rear-ending someone. I've never liked the automobile because of its poor engine, cheap interior, and general awful design, so she can have that piece of shit. I'd have more success hurling it off a cliff than selling it. Edit 2. Minor change. Her mother contacted me a few hours earlier to check on me and ask when she might come pick up the ex's belongings. We talked about the automobile, and she basically told me not to let her daughter retain it since, 1, I paid for it. 2. Ex would be unable to sustain it, so God help me, I'm going to keep the automobile till I can sell it. Also, some individuals deemed the narrative phony since they thought I wasn't a true guy for playing games, despite the fact that they played WoW. To be honest, that's on me because I wasn't clear. The real guy thing was more about pro wrestling than gaming, although in other messages they openly insulted me for playing several games from the Life is Strange series. In one, I recall James saying something like, "How could a grown man play such a girly game and cry?" Yes, I sobbed while playing Life is Strange. I also wept to RDR. The sequence still makes me feel emotional. I suppose I'm a crybaby. Also, I'd want to thank everyone who messaged me to discuss wrestling and gaming. It really helped me get my mind off of things. I have not responded to everyone, but I intend to. If something occurs, I'll let you know. Be good, folks. Update 2. Hello, folks. It's been a few days since I used this account to share my tale, and something has happened. However, this is a good update. First and foremost, I'd want to thank everyone who reached out to my DMs and left lovely comments. It felt great, and I appreciate you all. Some of you even made me cry with your sweet remarks. Second, I saw my 2 prior posts were on a YouTube video of a guy reading Reddit postings, and my update was on our greatest off-Redditor updates, a subreddit I frequent, which took me off guard. But I want to thank everyone who gave me advice, shared their own story, or just told me I was a great man. Reading your words before writing this felt incredible. I'd also want to emphasize that I thought a lot about my engagement and have no regrets. Yeah, things went wrong, and she wasn't a good person to me in the end, but I don't despise her. Nor do I want her to fail. We had some nice times, and I was thrilled with her. I genuinely believed she was the one. Feeling anger would damage me more than her. To the update, her mother arrived to pick up her belongings, and we spoke for hours. It felt therapeutic. I sobbed on her shoulder. We laughed, and she told me how much I meant to her family and that I was always welcome in her house. It was great to hear her speak those words to me. Before she went, she asked if I had any questions concerning my ex. I became intrigued and inquired how she was doing. Her remarks were, "She's trying to be stoic, but I know my daughter isn't taking it well." I left it at that. She hugged me and departed. Regarding the automobile, I'm going to give it and receive a tax deduction. But I'm most delighted because I'll be attending the Royal Rumble. I never ever watched Raw or SmackDown live, but now that I have the additional cash, I'm going to indulge myself. Again, thank you for reaching out. I apologize to those who want drama that this update does not include an unwelcome pregnancy, a fight, mayhem, or a narrative twist. The fact is that my life is simply dull. Be nice, folks. Let us now go on to the second narrative. I want a brand new hot tub. Is this a genuine white elephant gift and a maintenance nightmare? Should I retain or sell? Original post. As the headline indicates, I won the main prize in a raffle. It's a stunning 6-person hot tub, and I'd want to buy one someday. The idea of skiing all day and returning home to a hot tub dip sounds incredible. I do have a backyard with space for it, but I'd need to add electricity outlets, smooth the ground for a concrete pad, potentially install plumbing, and then there's delivery, accessories, and upkeep. Are there any thrifty hot tub owners out there? What is the upkeep like? Do you use it frequently enough to warrant the cost? I'm not scared to put in the effort required to install it, but I'm wondering whether I'm wasting all of this money on upkeep in the long term. My wife constantly insisting that we sell it and take a trip. What are your thoughts? Some of Oop's remarks are relevant. Commenter. I installed a hot tub at my previous home. If you're going to utilize and appreciate it, it won't be inexpensive. Chemical and water expenses aren't too awful, and it's not a big deal in my perspective, but leaving the tub on 24/7/365 incurs significant electrical bills, especially if you live in a cold enough place to snowboard. Our hot tub cost us around $200 per month to run in the winter and $50 per month in the summer, and that's only water, power, and chemicals. That does not include repair and maintenance costs, which are minimal in the first few years but increase significantly as the tub becomes older. I want to use it a couple times each week, so it seems valuable. It was worthwhile for me at the time, but I doubt I'd make the same decision today. Instead, I'd book an extra couple of Airbnb weekends in locations with hot tubs. I've determined that outdoor saunas are far cheaper and easier to use and maintain than hot tubs, therefore I'll be looking into them for my next house. Oop, all excellent advice, thank you. Commenter, they will have a financial value, but it does not imply they may accept cash instead. Companies frequently contribute them as a tax deduction, while benefiting from marketing and visibility. You can't choose between the reward and cash. Oop, this certainly applies to my award. I believe I'd have to sell it through the Facebook Marketplace or something similar. Commenter, please check first. Why would you believe this is the most likely scenario? And now that I am so committed in this, please let me know. Oop. My wife's company's birthday celebration featured a raffle. The hot tub location is next door and was donated to the raffle after the owner completed a work for trade arrangement with their company. So, knowing some of the behind-the-scenes machinations, I'm very certain it's a write-off gift with no cash award equivalent. But I am still going to ask. Commenter, did you have to disclose your social security number when you accepted it? That would be a red signal for being taxed on it. Oop, I have not accepted it yet. Someone reminds Oop that they will most likely require a permit and/or inspections. They had not considered permits and municipal inspections. Excellent observations, thank you. Commenter, OMG, my dream. Keep it. Oop, it was also my dream. I went to the raffle just to win the hot tub, but now that my wish has come true, I'm really wanting to make the happy ending work. And after all of these comments, I'm thinking of selling it. Power bills are definitely an issue where I am. It's already been 300 months. Commenter and snowboarder with hot tub here. Do it, you won't regret it. Oop, dang, LOL, the decision is so difficult. I may ask if they will conduct a sauna instead. I bought a season pass to Brighton this year, and will be there a lot. Commenter, where are you located? If you're wanting to sell, I'm in the market for one. And we're not far away. If you prefer, you may send me a private message. Oop, in Utah. Update the post. Thank you for your many helpful remarks. As I previously stated, I was quite delighted to get a hot tub. I believed I had found the ideal location for it and was prepared to do everything to get it installed. All of the commentators raised some excellent points that I had not considered. One was a spike in electricity costs. Our power cost has lately increased by 30% and now exceeds $300 per month in the summer. Adding a hot tub in the winter would have increased that price by $100 to $200 per month, as we live in a freezing snowy area. We choose number 2. After measuring where we believed it would go, we learned it wasn't big enough to fit the tub, so we had to move it elsewhere with a little more space, which meant I had to install a longer electrical connection. A section of an edged sidewalk had to be ripped up and replaced with a new gravel pad. The new location offered no privacy and was in clear view of the neighbor's window, so constructing any form of privacy barrier would have been an additional expenditure. And it was still 20 feet from where we wanted it, which meant that in the winter I'd have to shovel a walkway to it and clear everything off. I know that in the winter it will be difficult to access, which will discourage me from utilizing it. There was the HOA and the selling of the home. Many respondents commented that hot tubs might be a liability for the house, as well as concerns with HOA's permits and inspections. That was not something we considered, and while we want to stay in this home for a long, it is not our forever home. 4 was the total cost, including taxes. It will be recorded to the IRS as a $10,000 prize, so I expect to pay anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500 in additional taxes next year, in addition to the $2,000 I would have had to spend on the electrician, a gravel pad, delivery costs, and the monthly rise in water and electricity bills. That may cost around $5,000 to have everything up and running and installed, which I didn't plan on spending before Christmas. So, this is what I did instead. I asked the proprietor of the hot tub establishment if I could turn the hot tub I wanted into a sauna instead, and he agreed. So I'm purchasing a really good infrared indoor sauna that will sit in my basement, doesn't require pricey new power lines, and has no extra ongoing maintenance requirements other from the electricity utilized. Overall, I'm quite pleased with the outcome. I'm a little upset that I won't be able to bathe in a hot tub, but I can still go skiing all day and come home to a relaxing heat soak. Thank you again, everyone. Some of Oop's remarks. Commenter. That is a bloody smart solution. I appreciate that you bargained. Very few individuals understand that bargaining produces outcomes. See why. Flora is preparing to recruit an entire office building to bargain with the landlords for much-needed accessibility modifications. I mean, I'm a mediator, therefore I would say this. However, it is quite beneficial to you. Oop, thank you. Someone in the initial discussion suggested a sauna, which got me thinking. I work with a lot of small firms, so I'm used to bargaining and problem-solving. Commenter, and the post excludes the chemicals that are frequently added to the water. Oop. Many of the initial comments indicated they weren't too pricey, so I didn't list that, but it was obviously a consideration. Saunas are very excellent too. Your health, commenter. Brilliant move. And I know sauna rooms may be a fantastic inducement when selling oop, which is great to hear. We chose an infrared one because of its health advantages. I'm really looking forward to trying it out. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so and click the notification bell to remain informed on more disturbing real-life tales happening around you.